Today we're going to talk about food allergies. Food allergies are actually extremely common. It's said that they affect around 5% of adults and 8% of children. Personally, food allergies are something that have impacted and changed the whole course of my whole life. My first child, was extremely allergic to some medicine and developed a problem with his stomach, and off that he developed extreme food allergies. As a result of that, he then developed anaphylaxis, because that's the reaction you get when you eat food that you are allergic to, and he then developed asthma and eczema. He is 23 years old today, but in fact his allergies are dairy, gluten, fish, egg, nuts and sesame. And from time to time apparently banana, which I think he just does to not eat the bananas, but he claims he's actually allergic to them. So this is something that I have spent a lot of my life being run by food allergies, and they have changed the entire fate of my life. But I want in this video to tell you why actually food allergies have also been a really good thing. So if you're worried about what to do with your food allergies, we're going to help you think, this isn't as bad as it could be. My name is Geeta Sidhu-Robb. I run a health and wellness business called Nosh Detox, which is based in London, and our goal is to be a credible, trusted source of information and education for you, so you can make your own health choices and feel powerful and in control as you go through life. Back to the food allergies. So, what is a food allergy? A food allergy is a condition in which certain foods trigger an abnormal immune response in your body. Why is this? It's because your immune system, when you eat this food, wrongly recognizes some of the proteins as being harmful to you. It then launches a range of attack and protective measures to fight this off. So it releases chemicals like histamine, which causes inflammation, and it starts to fight with this thing that's in your body. So for people who have a food allergy, even exposure to tiny amounts of a problem food can cause an allergic reaction. My son was extremely allergic to cashew, and we were going somewhere and my mother was eating cashew nuts, and he was drinking something and had a drop on the end of his mouth. And my mother leant over and wiped the side of his face. That wipe of the side of his face led to us being in an emergency room 35 minutes later. My son had to actually have an adrenaline injection to save him from his anaphylactic reaction. So the tiniest, minutest amount makes an incredibly big difference. And we have seen this again and again in the press, where we had this poor girl who died on an airplane because she ate food that had the tiniest amount of a product that she actually reacted to. And the thing is that symptoms for this can occur anywhere, within a few minutes after exposure to a few hours later. So my son would have, like cashew would be instant, but bread, because he had a gluten allergy, took a while to develop, and he got hives. And then from hives, he ended up with a swelling of the tongue or the mouth. He had difficulty swallowing. He then had difficulty breathing. And if you're very lucky, your food allergy will involve vomiting and diarrhea. Because that means that the body's actually expelling the reaction. The worst part is when the body starts to fight it internally. And as I said, one of the strongest reactions is actually anaphylaxis. And anaphylaxis comes on very quickly with certain food allergies. And what happens is that your throat starts to swell and your windpipe then starts to shrink. So that in fact people are you're literally unable to breathe, and you die because you're unable to breathe if it isn't treated. It is something that is in fact treated quite efficiently if you have what you need around you, which is basically an adrenaline pen. An adrenaline pen instantly reverses the signs of anaphylaxis. So let's look at the difference between food allergies and food intolerances. Food intolerances are often mistaken for food allergies, but they don't actually involve the immune system. So it means that while a food allergy can, of course, impact your quality of life, and they make life really difficult, and they make you unwell, and they give you stomach pain and bloating, they're not actually life-threatening. So the most common food allergies are dairy milk, eggs, nuts, peanuts, shellfish, wheat, and soy. And in fact, for some people, the entire nightshade family is now becoming an issue. I'm often asked why food allergies are increasing so much, and there are so many reasons why this is happening. It is because of the kind of chemicals we put into our food. It is because where we grow our food, the soil is so depleted, because in the old days you would rotate crops and say, okay, today we grow tomatoes, tomorrow we grow corn, tomorrow, the day after we grow wheat. And what would happen is the soil would it would get all its nutrients built up again and pass those nutrients into the crops that we are growing, which we are then eating. And in this day and age, we don't do that, because farming has become such an intensive commercial activity that it's about how fast can you grow the food, how quickly can you pluck it, how fast can you go to a supermarket, and how much money can you make off it. So we've streamlined these to such an extent that a lot of the goodness that was in food has actually been lost, and a lot of the chemicals in food have actually grown. These have had an effect on our stomachs and how we digest food, and we have become much, much more sensitive. And that means that we are more prone to getting more allergies. We also don't eat as much good food as we used to, by which I mean whole natural foods. And that also means that we aren't as strong, and our immune systems aren't as strong. So when you're more fragile, you react much more quickly and you're more negative. So if you do have food allergies, here's the good news. My son is the only one of us that never needed braces. Because he couldn't eat all kinds of processed junky food, he could only eat really, really healthy food. His teeth are perfect. I mean, he's had like, I think, one filling or something, but he never had to have braces. Whereas my other children who could eat normal food, their teeth would grow up wonky and stuff. So number two, he's never ill. Touch wood, he's never ill. He has the strongest constitution in the world. Number three, he's a very thoughtful, conscious, cautious human. Because he understands the effect small things can have on him, he's very careful about the effect his actions and behaviors have on other people. Number four, if you are forced to love yourself enough that you have to look at every single thing that goes into your mouth, tell me how that's a bad thing. That's a super good thing. So don't always go around thinking having allergies are bad. They have provided many, many benefits. The last of which was that I ended up setting up my business because my son's terrible food allergies and years in and out of hospitals forced me to actually think differently. I evolved from a career from being a corporate lawyer into running a health and wellness business. Allergies have really, really been terrible for me and my family, and they have produced enormous benefits. It really is how you look at it. So if somebody does have really bad allergies, please share this video with them so that they can see not everything is terrible and lost. Please like the video. Please let me know what allergies you've had to struggle with and if we can help you, because we do a lot of this and I have spent my life working in this area. And please subscribe.